You are now tuned in to Coffee Talk on LE Radio. Serving you up some new flavor, fresh out of ATL. Where the vibes prevail, the convo's held between a scale of 1 to 10 exceeds 1,000. But do you feel me? Go ahead and get your cups ready as we pour into your mind, slow and steady. You may need a full cup for this. CoffeeTV.com. We got raw and adulterated conversations, live, provocative entertainment, new flavor in your ear for my podcast, talk show, radio. Watch us live online in the studio. Tell a friend, tell them you come too. Never know what's in store with the whole crew. Cause we got.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. How's it going?
Hello. How's it going?
It's going. I know you're not feeling too well.
My face.
It's going to be okay. Definitely. Hello, everyone. Good evening. I know it's been a while. Things have been going on. We got some great news within the Hip Inc. family and everything like that. We got some new stuff coming out. We got definitely a new lineup. So I know you're not used to seeing Coffee Talk on Thursdays. We're usually on Sundays. However, we had to switch it up on you. So now Coffee Talk will actually be Thursday evenings. So you get to chill, relax with us towards the end of your work week, just to kind of vibe, chill, kind of get amped and ready for Friday, the start of your weekend and everything. So we're going to be coming to you with shows starting Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And then we're going to give you a little break on Sunday so you can chill out with the fam.
Right. Because we started off on Thursdays and then we moved to Sundays. But now we're back on Thursday nights at 8:30. And I did put out a lineup of the new shows. I can go in here and give you all a quick rundown of the new shows, a quick look. But yeah, we had to switch back to Thursdays for good things because I had to make a career move, which was an awesome and amazing career move. I'm so happy that I chose to do that. Little hesitant, but sometimes you just have to step out on faith, take Absolutely. The chance, and that's what I did. I stepped out, and said, "Oh, I got to do something different." So I took that. I took a time, to really research and do what it was I needed to do for me,
right.
To get me together, because before I had mentioned, I still want to go back and on the next show on next Thursday talk more about vision boards and get into that, because I did do a vision board, and on that vision board I had a photo of myself, and then I had career, spiritual healing. I had things that I want to accomplish for me, right. And the focus of 2021 was all about me and my sanity and my peace and keeping my peace so Absolutely. It worked out really good. So this is the new lineup.
Yes, so we have the new lineup coming up for the shows. Again, we got Coffee Talk that's coming to you on Thursdays. We still got ATL Mix and Poetic Soul Artistry on Fridays, so you still got to kick it with me for Poetic Soul Artistry. And then the girls, the team at ATL Mix, of course. And then on Saturday, we also still have our hood doctor herself, Ami Brown, with our Random Acts of Healing Saturday morning. So we still giving it to you. We're just going to move the show from Sunday to Thursday, so you can come and chill with us at the end of your work week. I know some of y'all Friday is Thursday, so you can come hang out, kick the shit with us, and just have some fun.
Yes, my Friday. I got 3 days off. I'm off Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Winning all over the place, ain't you?
All over the place. More money, better hours, just everything. It's just flowing right now, and I'm thankful and grateful that things is going so well, with the exception of my allergy breakout. I don't know what I broke out from. So that's the reason why y'all don't see my face right now. I'm on this app avatar is, I have this sensitive, crazy skin, and I don't know if it was something I ate or something touched my skin, but right now my face and neck is broke out. So and I'm a little vain, so I ain't finna be on here.
Hey, you gotta put your best foot forward every time. So.
Right. I ain't finna be on here looking all crazy because I look real crazy right about now. But again, I just wanted to come to you. This is going to be a short 30 minutes, just basically let y'all know that we are back on Thursdays. Showed y'all the lineup. We are up, back and running. I got the studio for those who follow us before. Y'all know me and Brittany and I used to be in the studio. So I got the studio back up and running. I show a little video, I'll shoot some pictures later, but I am in the studio right now. But like I said, unfortunately, I had to use my avatar because I got some skin issues. It's allergy season, so I got some shit going on right now. So we're gonna just make this a quick little introduction to just say that we're back on Thursdays, and I'm planning on doing a morning show, morning ride with Don. I'm be doing a morning show. Probably on Fridays and Saturday morning, somewhere between 7 to 7:30 or 7 to 8. Haven't quite figured out that hour, but it's going to be the morning ride with me for all my house lovers. Got some great house music and stuff coming for you, so you'll be able to tune in with that. If you got the app, you're going to be able to download LE Radio app, plug in that USB or whatever they call it, that aux cord in your car, plug it in, and just roll with me.
Absolutely. I'm super excited about that. I can't wait because I've always liked house music, but I've noticed as an adult, especially after meeting you and other people from Chicago, I've reaffirmed my love for house music. So I'm super excited about that morning show.
Cool. Yep, got that coming. But meanwhile, people, we want to talk about this vaccine, this COVID-19 vaccine shot. We're going to touch on this a minute. Because CNN, I follow CNN, and they just updated right before the show. They just updated at 8 o'clock, I want to say Eastern time, but they literally just gave an update about the latest on the coronavirus pandemic and the vaccines. And they're basically saying all these people ain't got these shots, but they need more people to get these shots. So they basically saying they opened up everything and did all this. So now they're coming back with this scare tactic, which I think is the scare tactic. Nobody don't have to agree. I'm quite sure everybody who ain't got the shot probably saying whatever. But I feel it's because they don't feel like the numbers. They haven't reached their goal for how many people they want to get vaccinated. So here, I'm going to just go ahead on and share the video. I'm going to share this. This is what I was reading. I follow CNN, so I'm gonna just share the video for y'all right quick.
Say hello to your very
I guess I should have skipped the ad first, but now I'm giving away some free promo time that this person don't even need, but you know how
discover new brands.
I guess the video start right after this.
Discover yourself. Express yourself.
Yeah, I just gave them some free promotion.
$12 a month with free shipping. Ipsy, personalized glam bags just for you. Subscribe today at ipsy.com/join.
I actually think that we're in the middle of a fourth surge right now.
About a third of Americans have received at least one shot, but health officials warn we need to move faster, much faster.
We just aren't going to be able to get enough people vaccinated quickly enough to keep the rest of the country from experiencing much of what we're seeing in the upper Midwest and Northeast.
Alarming surges in new infections, even as vaccines reach so many of the most vulnerable. Nearly 77% of people over 65 have received at least one shot. But COVID-19 is taking its toll on younger people, not just spring breakers, also school children.
Clusters of cases in daycare, as well as school sports, particularly team sports, which people engage in close contact without masks. I think that is what is explaining these surges of cases in young individuals.
More than 75,000 new cases reported Wednesday. Hospitalizations are up in 18 states since last week and climbing higher, particularly among younger people. But new research published by the Journal of the American Medical Association shows an overall declining death rate among hospitalized COVID-19 patients is likely not due to their age, but due to better treatments, giving hope perhaps to the families of the sick, while so many others are coping with loss.
As if the emotional part of it wasn't enough, to shell out that much money is just incredibly tough.
That part will get better. On Monday, FEMA will start providing up to $9,000 per funeral for COVID deaths.
Right.
Yeah.
And they tried to act like that's
Wow, that and the numbers and everything are so crazy when it comes to dealing with the shots and everything. Like I know in my family, like my mother, she works for the government, the Veterans Affairs actually, and she had the opportunity to get her shot. My mother, she's in her 50s, her mid 50s, so she's not necessarily in the elderly realm, which is what they started with at first. After that, it was pretty much once they started, it was usually like 75 and up. So, like my grandfather, who actually turned 90 yesterday, he got his vaccination. A couple of my older aunts got the vaccination. A lot of the older members of my family ended up getting vaccinated, but there are a few younger ones that are in college or just out of college that got it as well. I personally have not, even though I work in the medical field. I personally have not because I have reservations about how quick we were able to get the vaccine. Because
exactly.
generally speaking, I think the fastest reported time frame to create a vaccine prior to this was like 4 years,
Right.
but we were able to do this in a year. But
Less than a year, really.
yeah, I also heard that the reason why we were able to get it so quickly is because there was a lot of collaboration between us and other countries to kind of put something together. So that's why the trials and everything went so quickly. But I'm still of the, I mean, and Black people in general are very kind of critical and fearful and hesitant when it comes to the medical profession because of a lot of things that's happened with us
Right.
as a community. So, and I think that's where the scare, like what you're talking about, scare tactics and everything comes into play because if you remember when the vaccination first came out for people, there were this big push to get Black people to get the shot. Like they
Right.
were trying to, oh, well, it was a Black woman that did this and it was a Black man that did that. And the first person to get it was a Black person. So it was almost like they were trying to throw out all of these visuals for us specifically to be like, oh, okay, I guess we'll get it. Because they knew instantly, like everybody was like, I'm not getting no vaccine. Like, I'm not taking
Right.
it. I don't
Yeah.
want it. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I just don't. Yeah, because they was saying all of a sudden we was fine because everybody was getting it. Then all of a sudden that popped up and said, "Oh," and did you hear the urgency in her voice? "Oh, we have to move faster, faster!" Like her, even she's a good voiceover. That's all I can say. She's an excellent voiceover, and it's like because I have some reservations still as well. Again, because they created it so quickly.
Right.
And so many people just ran out to get it. And I understand that a lot of people are reasoning is let me go get it because they want the country to open back up. They want to be able to go around family and friends. A lot of people are tired of living in solitude. A lot of people are tired of just being alone. And I know we always talk a lot about learning how to be in your own company and love yourself, but it's going beyond on that now because you got some people who live alone, not in relationships. Now they're stuck in a whole year of solitude or prison, as my wife would say. Everybody just did a year of prison because, you know, it was curfew. You could only go out to go to work. You could only go to get something to eat. You couldn't go to any social gatherings. And if you did, you was limited on how many people could go to this social gathering. So it was a lot. And I believe a lot of people start running out, getting the test because they want everything to turn to some type of normalcy. They want to go back out. They want to be able to hang out. They tired of wearing the mask. I'm definitely just tired of this mask. Is like the 6 feet. I think we still should stick with because I'm like that anyway. I don't like people close up in my personal space. But it was quiet. So at the beginning, everybody started getting the shots, and then once they seen the numbers wasn't rising or they hadn't met their goal, now I feel like they shot out this video so that now more people could run. And then it's amazing to me how they switched the narrative. First, it was those most vulnerable was like 65 and older. It was the elderly that was the most vulnerable. But all the reports I've seen over the last week now, college kids and high school and kids in daycare are the most vulnerable. Like they switched the narrative because they know it's about to be summer. It's about to be spring break and all that's coming up. And that's the age group that's going to want to go outside. Because see, they're already fucked up this life for anybody like 65, 70, because most of those people are now living in fear. Even if they get the shot, most of them not coming out the house. They're going to stay in the house. So they already took care of that. It's like a government control thing for me, because they already took care of that age group. That people anywhere 65 and older. My mom she got both shots. She fine, thank God, but she's a little paranoid still, even, you know, after getting the shot. So, you know, and I be wanting to take her out to dinner, but she still, you know, she like, oh no, she don't really want to go to no restaurant. So it's kind of, sad that they really messed it up for that group of 65 and older, because now that group of people gonna basically just live in solitude, stay in the house, because even though most of them got the shot, they're still living in some type of fear. So now they have to change the narrative, because the younger generation, the millennials, what is it, the Gen X and the Gen Zs or whatever, they ready to get out there. So they're going, oh, let me go get this shot, take off this mask, and they gone. So,
but the shot and even with the research, the shot doesn't stop you from getting the virus. You can still get it with the shot. It's just the symptoms won't hit you the same. It will be a much milder issue if you were to still get it.
And that's my point. Why get the shot if it's
you can still carry it too. So you
so why get the shot then? That was my point, Brittany. If I could still get COVID, why am I taking this shot if I could still get it? What is the purpose of me taking this shot if I could still get it?
It's the same with the flu. Even if you get the flu shot, that doesn't stop you from getting the flu. You can still get the flu with the flu shot. It just won't manifest with those intense symptoms anymore. Because what people understand, a vaccination is just giving your body the virus so that it builds up the antibodies to fight it. This is not making you impervious to the disease. It just means that if you come in contact with it, your body is better equipped to fight it off. That's all that it's doing. But so that's my argument with the flu shot, because I don't get the flu shot either.
Yeah, I've only had the flu shot when I first joined the Army, because once you sign over that contract, your life is no longer your life. You now belong to the government. So I do know right before, when I was at MEPS, my intake, I got somewhere around 45 shots. Once I made it to basic, to reception, I probably got another 25, 30 shots. I went through AIT and everything. And then I know within my first year of being in the Army, I got probably 80 shots.
Wow.
Yeah,
they
fascinate you with every fucking thing. Yeah, I had a lot of shots, and I'm like,
oh wow.
So and I do know the flu shot was one of them that we had to take when I was in. But once I got out, I never took it again. Not on my own. I don't believe in all those vaccinations.
Yeah. Coincidentally, a little Black history knowledge of it was a Black man that developed the first vaccine, or the process of being vaccinated was developed by a Black man, of
Mm.
treating a virus, giving someone a virus to combat that same virus, which
Uh-huh.
is pretty interesting when I was doing research on that. But yeah, I'm not a fan of vaccine. I'm not an anti-vaxxer, but
Uh-huh.
I wouldn't. I'm not fooling with the flu shot. I've had the flu shot one time and I got the flu with that flu shot. And I got really sick after taking the shot. After that, never again, because there is a thing where for some people, it's a small percentage of the population, but they're allergic to vaccines and like vaccinations, like the chemicals that are used for it.
Uh-huh.
So they can't take vaccines at all because they'll have a really large like allergic reaction to it. So that was another thing that I thought about. Also, like we were doing a vaccine for COVID, but what about these people who can't take vaccines? Like what's going on with them? Like because it's the difference between you're just choosing not to, or if you take it, you can end up hurting yourself or dying from
Right.
it. So it's I just feel like I understand the sense of urgency to rush because COVID is a disease that is not like any other that's been seen lately, at least from the information that I've gotten
They
from
say that about all of
doctors.
that. What about the smallpox? What
Oh,
about when it came out with
at
Ebola?
first, yes.
Ebola stayed around. Everybody pretty much didn't even believe that crap about Ebola because that just sounded like some made up shit. It just sounded like some made up shit. It did. It didn't. It went. People they was talking about all the Ebola pandemic and da 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 da, and people just
We've
like
had a lot of pandemics hit the U.S. and most people don't even realize it or never really took it seriously because it didn't
right,
really hit like this. It didn't kill like this. We had H1N1, we had the swine flu, we had
right.
Ebola, we had like SARS, we had all of this stuff. It just in my generation alone, all of these different pandemics that came through that most people even don't even remember, don't even realize because it didn't affect as many American lives as COVID-19 has.
Correct, and I agree with
It's
that
like,
because we had shoot, I can't even name them. It was all kind of
yeah, it was, it was a lot.
how many
Yeah,
pandemics we've had in the last 20 years.
right.
Uh,
Probably can't
I'm
even
about
name
to
how
look it
many.
up because, like I
It's
said, but
all,
Ebola didn't stick around because it just, like I said, it just sounded made
mhm,
up. It didn't. It just didn't sound real.
right. And then also too, a lot of those, not all, but some of those came much like coronavirus did from other countries. Which another thing about that is immune systems vary based upon location, geographical location where you grow up. So there's certain immunities that Americans that were born in the United States have that other countries do not. Hence the reason why they tell you, like when you go to Mexico, if you're visiting, not to drink the water. Now
Right.
Mexicans who are from Mexico can drink the water and they're perfectly fine because their bodies have built up these resistance to whatever bacteria and everything are living in the water in the United States because of how we, you know, do our filtration systems with water and everything else. We don't come into contact with these types of bacterias, so we don't have an immunity to them. That's why we have issues. That's why whenever you go to other countries in the continent of Africa or other countries in other continents, you have to get those shots because they have a completely different setup in the system with things than they do here in the States. Hey cuz, hey Kali. But when it comes to these vaccinations and viruses and everything else like that, there's a lot of misinformation. I feel like it was not handled properly, which also feeds more into the American population's distrust of the vaccination. Because for so long we've been told, and when we initially started, oh, it's not a thing, it's not a real thing. Don't worry about it. You can still do whatever you want to do. And then all
Mm.
of a sudden now we're, oh, we need to lock down. But then you got the governor in Texas that's just like, everything's open up 100%. We're in Georgia, the home of the CDC, and our governor is like, yeah, no, I don't care. Y'all can do whatever y'all want to do. You don't have to wear a mask. Just go out there and make some money. Like this is literally what was told, and I think that's what adds to the distrust with the vaccine, is just how the whole entire thing has been handled thus far from a governmental standpoint. It was just all bad. Like I can't even think of, other than the push and, like I said, the collaboration from between us and other countries to develop this vaccine. Other than something like that, I don't really see the good pieces on what was done at the beginning to kind of stop this from doing what it did, because we've essentially had 3 waves, I believe.
3. I got yep, 3. So I want to share this video right quick. It's called The World's Worst Pandemics. So let's take a quick look at this video right here. Let me.
Wow, and I even forgot that they considered AIDS or HIV a pandemic.
They sure did. They considered it a pandemic.
I forgot about that. That's staggering. But like I said, the Spanish flu, swine flu was up
Yeah, you
there.
seen that? Yeah.
Like all of those, and I don't like.
And that was just in what, 2009?
Yeah, that was 2009.
2009.
It's crazy. But yeah, those numbers are crazy though. Those
Right.
numbers are crazy as far as the number of pandemics that we have, and those are just the worst ones.
But look how long HIV been around, and they still haven't. You can't get vaccinated for that. I ain't heard that.
And my cousin, she kind of works with the system in the community, and she just made a comment. She said because of COVID, HIV is flaring up again.
Right, because when you get a shot, HIV, the virus is something in the COVID vaccine that's HIV. It's inside that vaccine that they giving people. So of course it's gonna make it flare back up.
Wow.
If you look at the ingredients, some of the ingredients in that vaccine match HIV.
Oh wow. Yeah, see, I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
that makes sense. They said PrEP is preventative. Yeah, PrEP is a preventative.
Was not true, because the HIV is not inside the COVID vaccine.
I'm not sure. Hopefully,
no, because she said that she was like, that's not true. So I was asking because I was reading something and I could have sworn they said it was in there, because that made me hesitating. Oh, she said no.
She said no. The numbers are going up because people are fucking. Okay, well, yeah. Well, because they're at home and not much else you can do.
Yeah.
Definitely be. And she did say HIV is not in the vaccine. But as far as the other part, I mean, yeah, if you at home, you ain't got nothing else to do. That's more than likely. And you know what would be interesting too is like the baby boom that comes from this, like the COVID.
The COVID babies, yeah. The COVID
I wonder if that's gonna be their name, the COVID babies or something, because you know how in the 80s, I'm an 80s baby, so we know it's the crack babies. So like I'm
right.
The COVID babies.
Yeah, these gonna be the COVID babies.
So she said tests are not getting done, of course, because we have to socially distance, and a lot of centers have closed down. Condoms are not being distributed out. through these programs. I mean, even in Atlanta alone, they closed down homeless shelters. Uh,
Yeah.
there's a lot of like services and programs for the community that have closed down because of COVID. So
Hmm.
those people are not getting those, those services anymore.
That's messed up.
Which is the craziest thing about it, and it's just I think our focus is COVID, 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 and we're kind of like forgetting that there's other programs and other things out here too that go hand in hand, like with the shutdown and the quarantine. I don't think anybody thought about how that affects homeless people and the homeless rate.
Yeah. I don't think they thought about that.
You know what I'm saying? Like how that affects the homeless, like that quarantine. Yeah, because I said COVID is taking money from the HIV programs. Sex work is up because of the lack of money. So a lot of people are turning to these, and yeah, she said also the stimulus is helping folks buy drugs and lumps of ODN, sharing OV. So it's like it's a whole big thing that's happening. None of this was handled properly, but I mean, could it have been? What would have been the best way to handle this? Because it seems like it's just compounding. These are already issues that we're already facing, and this has just compounded them. Like so, it's just bad all around. Honestly, to me personally, and I'm not one of those like doomsday, woe is me, everything's going to hell type people, but I'm really just, it kind of gets overwhelming to say the least. So the next comment was having Clinton in office would have saved us. Trump fucked us.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say that I disagree with either one of those points. Honestly, I just think he didn't care until it became personal to him, and even after it became personal to him, he still didn't care because he had the money to take care of it. So there's no consequences, no repercussions, no accountability. So it just really wasn't an issue for him. And because it wasn't an issue for him, he didn't take the time to make it a priority for the American people.
This is
And
true.
and that's sad and it's frustrating, and it's one of the reasons why I'm thinking about leaving. But then you also have to think about, well, if you go to another country, you can still suffer and deal with certain things in other countries too. But it gets very disheartening dealing with this and kind of talking about it, because even though like myself and you, we're kind of the luckier ones in this because we're still able to be employed. We still have an income. We still have a roof over our heads.
Right.
We're still able to make ends meet and things like that. But that is not the reality for a lot of people. And it's like, okay, I understand we're fucked. This shit happened. This is stupid. This is horrible. Okay, so now what do we do to change it? Like, what do we do to help it? What charities or foundations that are actually doing something and not just taking money, but what places are actually doing something and actually helping that we can get behind and help and donate to and volunteer with, that can make a difference.
Huh. Oh, I don't know. I know I'm not taking that shot right now. I can tell you that.
I feel you though. I feel you. I'm not gonna lie. I haven't taken the shot. I was to the point where I almost scheduled it though, because
I was too.
we're going to be doing we're going to keep you guys updated on the travel schedule, because the Panani Poets are going to start touring here and everything like that. So we are going to be broadcasting from different places. But because we're going to be doing
Yeah,
that,
because I got
and
3 days off.
also my own personal travel, because I will be leaving the country for a month later on this year, I honestly was seriously thinking about it, because I'm like, well, maybe I should.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking about it as well, because I do have a lot of stuff coming up, and the travel part. So like I said, it's still on the table. I'm just letting the the test dummies get out of the way, I guess. I'm sorry for saying.
Right.
I did
And you
not
know
mean to
it's
say
so
that
bad
out
because when my
loud.
mom got the shot, when I tell you I was watching my mother like a hawk for 2
I
weeks
know.
because I'm like, all right, you good?
I was in there, I
You
was
all
like, Mom,
right?
you got your toenails, you got your ears, did any fingers
You
fall out? Any
know what I mean?
limbs,
I'm
everything?
like, she
Yeah.
do a little cough. I'm like, are you all right? You good? Like all of that.
Yeah.
I was watching my mother because I'm
That,
like,
then I was thinking about it because I had a friend, he was like hardcore conspiracy. It's a conspiracy, da 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 da. It's da da da. And he just was like not going until he got it.
mm,
But he got COVID. Like
mm,
he fucked up. Yeah, he got it. He was telling me how I felt like his rib cages was like somebody was standing on his chest and in his chest. He said it felt like somebody was just pushing on like right in the chest area and in his rib cage area. Um, he don't have no sense of smell, no taste. He said he hadn't had a headache the entire time. And my thing is, when I asked, I said, so what did they give you? And he was like, the only thing they told him to take was regular flu medicine
mm,
and drink plenty of fluids. I said, so yeah, they have they can vaccinate you, this vaccine, but they don't have anything to give you if you catch it other than to tell you to take the common Tylenol and drink a lot of fluids. He said that was it. He said he went to that's all he was told, that he had to wait the process out to drink a whole lot of water because he was dehydrated. Yeah, no sense of smell, no sense of taste. He's breathing. He said his head, no matter how many Tylenol he popped, he said his head been hurting for like 4 days straight, non-stop. He said the first couple of days it was kind of in and out. And then he said he woke up, I believe, that Tuesday, because I talked to him like that Friday morning. I talked to him that he told me he woke up on Tuesday out his sleep with a headache, and the headache had not gone away from Tuesday morning up until when I talked to him Friday morning, because I called him. He didn't sound so good, and I asked, and then when I went back and reached back out to check on him later that Saturday, his head was still hurting. So can you imagine having a headache from Tuesday morning, and here it is 4 or 5 days later, this headache never leave. You take Tylenol, he take like Tylenol PM and go to sleep, and then you kind of scared to go to sleep because if you go to sleep, you don't know if you're gonna wake back up because they got all these people dying. So he take the Tylenol, but he said it don't ease it up at all. He said, just imagine having like a migraine that never went away.
wow.
He said that's the worst part of it. He said the chest pains, but he said his worst experiences with it is that headache.
Yeah.
And he said it's not like a normal. He said imagine a migraine times 100.
Yeah, I've heard about those symptoms, how crazy they are. Like it's just, it's nothing nice. Like I've had cousins who have caught it, but they had like on the milder end of symptoms. Like most of them just kind of lost their sense of taste and smell, and that was it. A few like fatigue and like aches and pains, but nothing where they had to be in the hospital, like on a ventilator and everything else like that. Because I have heard that that's happened to some people too, because of them not being able to breathe properly. And even once they survive COVID, like I was watching something on ESPN news, I think sports, where they were talking about this woman. She played basketball. She was a basketball player, caught COVID and survived it, but her level of like life quality it's been severely diminished to the point where she can't play anymore. She can't play basketball anymore. She can barely walk and do anything without getting, losing breath and getting out of breath and everything. So you go from this, peak star athlete to this individual that can barely take a couple steps without, needing an inhaler. So it's crazy the scale.
Yeah, the
That
scale.
on.
So I'm a little nervous again because they came up with the vaccination too quick to me.
Yeah.
That one, and two, because they're saying, oh, you can still get it, it just won't be as bad.
Right. Right.
So,
To
but
me, it's like I don't want it though. Like, so if I'm taking
right,
this
that's an
vaccine, then I
oxymoron
gotta
to
want
me.
it. Yeah.
I'm gonna give you the shot, but you gonna still get sick. But let me give you the shot anyway. Like,
Right, no. Yeah, like my cousin said, miss me on that shot. Like, no, I don't want the shot if it's not gonna help me. Like, this is the whole point of taking a shot then. Yeah.
yeah.
So
So
yeah, I agree with you. It's gonna be a while. I want a couple people. Like I had a friend who did take the shot, but she had to because of her job, and she had posted a status update on Facebook saying that she had gotten her second shot, that everything was fine, but then she made a comment about the lust for human flesh has been on the rise, and I was laughing and joking with her, but I was like, at the same time, I mean, why are you playing? Like you could turn into a zombie after this. I done seen too many Resident Evil
right,
movies.
that's what me and Jessica was talking about. Jessica was like, because I had a dream about that. Jessica was like, what if they turn it to they activate something like they give them this shot, and then after they give them this shot, they activate it,
Right,
and then they turn into zombies or something.
right. That's I Am Legend. That was the premise of that movie. People were taking shots. I think it was cancer or something that they feel like they
Yeah,
cured,
and he ended
and
up
people
out
were
there by
getting shot.
himself. Yes, you are right. That
So
is
yeah, no, like I would wait, make sure that nobody turns into a zombie, and then I might take it. I think once it gets closer to my trip out of the country, I may feel different about it then. It just so happens that the country that I'm going to has a very low rate of COVID as far as like actual cases and everything.
mhm.
Um, but I still feel like when it gets closer to that time, I may change my mind. But yeah, I heard that too, Kali. The Johnson and Johnson. First of all, Johnson and Johnson with the one shot where it's not the series of two, it's just the one. I
Hey, I
heard
wouldn't
this
even mess with
article
Johnson
where
and Johnson.
they had a whole shipment of those shots that they had to recall because somebody like put the wrong chemical in there when they were mixing up. It was a mix up at the plant, and so they had to recall a whole bunch of shots that were shipped out.
I would not
Thankfully,
do that
nobody
one.
had received them yet, so they didn't have to anything from that. But yeah, they caught it before any of the shots were administered. But yeah, it has like a 60% effective rate. Like 60% is not a good percentage when you're talking about out of 100. That's still 40%, my guy. Like that's almost half. You might as well say.
Right. What
And
was
then if
60%? Wasn't that
50%
like
of
a
the time
F?
it works every time. Like that makes no sense.
What, a 60%? That was like a D in high school on your paper, a F?
That's a fair
Yeah, that's
grade.
like a D. And I wouldn't trust Johnson and Johnson because remember they had that whole thing which I never used. They
Talcum
powder, the
powder.
talcum powder, where it
Yeah.
gave people cancer. So I wouldn't trust Johnson and Johnson. If I did take it, that would be Gilead. I would, but Johnson
They
and
have
Johnson, I'm not.
so Pfizer and Moderna are the two. I know with
Right.
Kaiser Permanente specifically, we're only using Pfizer and Moderna. We're not giving out the Johnson and Johnson. I think Johnson and Johnson is primarily what they're doing at places like Walgreens, Walmart, other places like that. They're getting Johnson and Johnson as well. You can ask which one that you would like to have. I do know that you can ask which one they're giving and you can refuse it. But yeah, no, no, like no, 60% rating success rate is. I don't even understand why you're even out here. Like why that was even approved by the FDA with 60%. Like I
Right.
said, that's an E minus. Like, come on, bro. I can't. Like, no, no, not 60% out of 100. Like, my thing is, I might as well just take my chances with getting COVID.
Right.
I mean, I understand some percentage is better than no percentage, but come on, if I'm gonna risk, because even with getting the shot, there's still some symptoms and everything that you deal with getting the shot, especially with the two, because they said the first shot is what gives you the virus, and the second shot is the booster to it. And the second shot is usually where people get those the soreness in their arm, the extreme fatigue, the dehydration, and everything. So even getting the vaccination causes symptoms. Like, why would I? Why would I want to sign up for that? I don't know. I've been reading a lot, looking at a lot of videos, medical journals, speaking to clinicians, and I have yet to find somebody that's able to make it make sense to me. So
Right.
if I can find someone that can make it make sense to me, I'm good. I'm good. I don't. I'll wait. I will let the first wave get it. Let them figure it out, and then maybe next year after something. I don't know if it's still that big of an issue. I might get it, but you know, unless I
Right.
have to and I'm made to, I'm not gonna willingly get that at all. So, but yeah, so that's just kind of like our thoughts on it, on the actual shots and this COVID thing. I know a lot of people are ready to get back to normal, and I'm be honest with you, I don't feel like there will ever be a back to normal. I don't
I
think we'll go back to where we were before. I think what it's gonna end up being is a variant of what normal used to be. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's kind of where we're at now. We're still gonna. I agree with you. The 6 feet and the space I think is good because I'm the type of person I like my personal space as well. I don't like people all up on me like that. So the space is good. I'm really good. I miss though being able, because I know people who, especially with their love languages or how they relate to people, is that physical touch. I know they have to be going through it because you can't really. It's frowned upon if you like hug or kind of touch people, so, and I do kind of miss that being able to like hug my friends and different things like that. But at the same time, I don't want to put anybody's, life in danger, risk their health or anything like that because it's not responsible. I wouldn't be a good friend if I did that. So yeah, Khaleesi says I'm not about to be. I am legend in this bitch. Yeah, me neither. Not at all. Not at all. Like I'm not trying to deal with any of those zombie apocalypse. Even though on the CDC website they did put out the little pamphlet brochure thing on like what to do during a zombie apocalypse, and I understand they were probably doing it to be funny, but also at the same time, we got we got all of this coming out with this pandemic, this vaccine. Like, read the room, bro. Like, do not, as an official, come out here with this zombie apocalypse. Like, that's people are scared, like, legitimately fearful for their lives and safety. And it's to make light of this, even though I'm not going to get the vaccine, I have no problem. I still won't make light of the actual concerns that people have when it comes to their health. Like, that's stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like, we. And then I saw like a video recently where there's a company out there that will screen print the bottom part of your face with a mask that's kind of hugging under your chin and make that your actual mask. So when you put it on to the person who's just kind of looking at you, not really paying attention, it looks like you have your mask like under your chin. And so people are walking around like this, and you have, they're out in public, so they're in stores, or you have um, store people that are coming up to them and saying, hey, put your mask on, put your mask on, put your mask on. And they're laughing and joking, and then they kind of pull the mask down to show that they did have a mask on. And I'm be honest with you, I kind of got pissed at that at that video where they were making fun of it, because it's like, how much of a shitty person do you have to be to make light of that? And kind of, you know what I'm saying? It rubbed me the wrong way, because I'm like, these people are just trying to work, they're just trying to do their job, and you're being an asshole and petty for no reason. Like, yes, it's just a mask. Yes, to some people, oh, it's to bring some comedy, but I just kind of felt like it was unnecessary personally. I just thought it was like a dick move, basically. Like, why do that? Yeah, my cousin said, black people are already scared, and they, and they not for it. They not, we're not getting vaccinated. Like, black folks is not trying to get vaccinated if they don't have to. We still, dealing with the Tuskegee experiments, all the medical apartheid that still goes on to this day, especially affecting black women, where you got black women that are dying at a higher rate, dealing with hospitals and carrying children and the infant mortality rate and all of this other stuff because the medical professionals don't take us seriously when we complain about things such like pain and all these other things because they just feel like, oh, well, you can take it. Like, do you understand? Like, at some point in medical schools, it was taught that black people had a higher tolerance for pain and that they treat us as such because they're like, oh, well, innately we have a higher tolerance for pain, so they don't really, when they do certain testings, when they do certain level testings, they kind of scale us a little bit higher due to these facts. Like, and it was only recently when they stopped doing that and stopped teaching that. So it's just, it's a lot of shit. We could go on for days having a show about the medical apartheid and the black community specifically. It's just, I can't. I can't. I'm not gonna be your guinea pig. I'm not. Like, I'm good. I'm good. I can't do it personally. I'm just not gonna do it. And that's interesting, Kelly. I didn't know that prep was developed by having black gay men as guinea pigs. That makes sense. Like, I don't condone it, obviously, but you know what? I believe that. I believe that prep was actually developed after giving it to black gay men as guinea pigs. Absolutely, they test everything on us. Why not? Why not? They've been doing it for years. Everything gets tested on us, and they just a trial and error. So if it works, good, haha, they got it. If it doesn't work, oh well, just a couple of them dead. It'll be all right. It's quality control, population control, I guess you could say, eugenics, like happened back in the day. Like, it's a lot, and I know I'm getting into soapbox territory. I don't really even care, but that's gonna definitely be a rhyme for another time. That's definitely gonna be a show that we're gonna get all the way into that with guests and everything to kind of break down some of these issues that plagues our community, specifically with the medical. And I'm actually going to work on getting a medical professional, a clinician, to be a part of that show so they can kind of speak to some of the practices that they were taught in school about it. So yeah, it's just, it's a lot. I keep saying that, and I've said that like 4 or 5 times. Like, it's a lot. As an empathic individual, there's a lot that I feel and have to process, and I know that other empaths like myself feel and process when it comes to society and the world as a whole, as our community. It's just a lot, and all I can suggest or think to do is to be more part of the solution than the problem. I've never been one of those individuals that like to complain about things or speak on something and not have a solution for it. Just me personally, that's never been my thing. So I just encourage anybody who watches this and is listening to this, like, take stock in what you have, be grateful for what you have and what you've been given, and also too, just make sure that you're not just talking the talk, you also have to walk it as well. If you're upset about something, if you feel like something needs to change, do something about it. Don't just sit on the sidelines and expect everybody else to fight your battle. We all have to do this together. All have to do this together. So I guess we're coming kind of close to the end, but yeah, I'm to further go back to our further statement. I'm not taking no vaccine. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I ain't taking it. I'm not doing it. I'm not right now. I'll wait. and see what
Right.
happens. So I can't, not right now, because I'll be the one to get sick. The one who I don't get out. Most I have is my allergies, which
Mm-hmm.
is why I'm got the avatar out, because I had a allergic reaction to something. I don't know what. Probably because Cammy had like 5 different cheeses on Saturday and crackers and stuff, and I was doing a lot of food testing. But
Mm.
um, I'm a wait, because I do know somebody who took the shot, who was never sick, never known to get a cold or anything. And as soon as she took the shot, she said, took the first shot, she thought she was okay, but about 3 days later, she had cold symptoms. And then she ended up waiting. She took the second shot, and she said after the second shot, she felt bad, and she don't get cold. She never had the flu. But that
Mm.
second shot, it did make her sick. And this is somebody who don't have any underlying, like lupus, nothing, no underlying other conditions or anything going on with her. She was an athlete, ran track, played sports, all of that. And she
Mm-hmm.
said she took that shot, and she said it made her sick. The first time, it was about 3 days later. It was she said it was cold symptoms, and she didn't really think too much about it. Like, oh, it's just
Right.
cold symptoms. She said, but then when she went and she took that second shot, and she was having hot chills and sweats
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that, and she didn't get sick. She said she only went to the doctor once a year, and that was for her health and welfare check,
Right.
to get like pep smears and all of that. She said, but other than that, colds and stuff like that, she didn't get them. But she got
Mm.
that. She did go to the doctor and took the test. They said she was negative. Um, they told her she was negative, but she said she was sick. She said after she took the second shot, she was sick for about 4 or 5 days.
Wow. Yeah, that's not okay. Yeah, so and that's what I'm saying, like that wide range or wide spectrum of symptoms, both from the virus itself as well as the vaccination, is what, like I said, hesitates me. There's
Right.
a
We
few
test
things that
don't.
hesitate me. Right.
It's too open. It's too general.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't narrowed it down enough for me. It's too general.
Right. I agree. Definitely.
So that's all I have for tonight. I guess I'm gonna go soak in this bath water that was ran for me, and try to get my skin together.
Yeah, try some oatmeal. Eucalyptus oil or peppermint oil helps with inflammation because that's what the allergic reaction is inflammation. So if you have some peppermint oil, you can kind of put it on your skin.
Yeah,
I,
we do.
I would definitely think about what you ingested or at least what was on your face recently, to figure out what's going on.
Yeah,
If you're trying a whole bunch of stuff on Saturday, well, today is Thursday, yeah, it might be that because it would have made
yeah,
it through your system by now. So it could be
yeah. It
that.
made it. It was somewhere, something between. Because I was fine. I was at work
Hmm.
Monday night. I noticed a little bump and scratch on my left ear. And
Hmm.
then what's today? Wednesday. Yesterday morning, I got up and I noticed that I had started breaking out.
Yeah.
And then today, last night at work, it was bad. And then today, I went and got caught. It was so, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna get
That
it together.
meditation, and then of course, like I said, peppermint oil will definitely help if you have some of that now.
Yeah, I do
But yes, so everybody, where this is our new night, so remember coffee talk has now moved to Thursdays, so we're going to be back on Thursdays like we were before. All the old heads that was watching us before, we was on Thursday rocking it out with y'all, so now we back. We back on Thursdays, and then on Fridays we have poetic soul artistry, followed immediately by the ATL mix, and then Saturday morning we have the random acts of healing, so be on the lookout for that, and the new morning show that will be coming up with Don, once we get that on schedule as well. So definitely make sure to stay tuned. You can always go to the social media site, coffeetalkradio.com. You can go to all of our sites. You can go to LE Radio Live on Facebook. You can definitely follow both of us, Don at LE Radio Live on IG, as well as myself on Lady Poetry 86 and Wordplay Bay on IG as well. Stay tuned for everything we got. Our next show will probably be about self-care, self and wellness, meditation, and everything like that. So it's gonna be a really good, feel good show.
Right, the next show, really good feel good show. It's supposed to be a real good feel good show tonight, but well, not with my face looking like this. I want y'all to be able to see my face when we do that show. So yeah,
Yes,
this Thursday will be
self-care is the best. So you're gonna go ahead and do some self-care tonight over the next couple of days since you're off.
Yep,
So you can come
3
back
days.
fresh.
All right, good night.
Good night, everyone.